I'm only talking out loud some of the stuff that you've had to ask yourself. Am I really clear that God's got me? Uncertainty is the prevailing emotion between and during transition. I don't care how saved you are. I don't care how many tongues you speak in and pray and all that other stuff. You and I have to admit that the toughest place, rather not just the toughest place, but the toughest place to be is in transition. But on top of that is that unsettling feeling of uncertainty. Now for all of you great women and men of God who are so strong in the Lord, and I just know God's going to bring me out, God bless y'all. I need a private counseling session, 6 of them. Yeah, 6 of them. 6 of them at least, because I'm going to need some help. I need some therapy. Because there's some times in my walk with God, there's some times in my life after all I have experienced, all I have been exposed to, all I've seen God do, there will come an issue or an occasion in your life where you are not certain that where I am is the will of God. Talk to me, somebody. You can get up off your knees after 30 days of praying and fasting, and still on the 31st day, scratch your head. Do I have any witnesses in here? You can fast until you lose a dress size and still not be clear. And the feeling, let me tell you this, I don't want to stay here on it too long, but let me tell you something. There is an unsettling of the soul that takes place when you know you are not where you used to be. And after the celebration wears off of you being promoted, graduated, moving on, then you're out here and you hear nothing. How can I call fire from heaven? How can 850 prophets be destroyed? How can I stop up the rain for 3.5 years and then sit up under a tree, Elijah, and ask to die? Because I'm not there anymore, but I'm not clear where God's taken me. I want to talk to somebody who knows what it is to be in that place where you have accomplished things and it seems like you should have been much further. Is anybody here frustrated or knows what it is to be frustrated? You know you got the goods. You know and by all standards and by all means, you should be much further down the road and settled by now. Yeah, I'm only talking to a few of us in here that know, as the clock ticks, the frustration that builds is I should be much further. Forget just further. I should be settled. Some things should not be questions in my mind at this point. And where does all of this uncertainty come from? And you can be as saved as you want to, but it is frustrating to think you should have a handle on stuff and you don't. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful while you're going through transition what you say. Okay? You got to be careful what you think. You got to be careful what you feed upon. You got to be careful what you give into, because when you are vulnerable, when you are afraid, when you are uncomfortable, you reach for anything that will bring you comfort. And even if it's wrong, you just want relief. Okay, y'all. Even if you don't mean it, even if you don't really desire it, transition will bring about uncertainty And uncertainty will make you start trying anything. That's why before you give up on people, before you give up on loved ones, before you give up on family, before you give up on friends, put yourself in their shoes. And I'm going to tell you, most of the time why we don't do that is because we can't fathom being in that place until it happens to us. And when it happens to you, and when you're in that place of ambiguous activity where you don't know what's going on, it is at that place that you have to say, God, I trust you. Is there anybody in here at that place beside me? If that's you, just throw your hands up and shout it, God, I trust you. I don't know what's going on, but I trust you. I don't like this, but I trust you. This ain't comfortable, but it's not what I signed up for, but I trust you. You're not letting this work out according to my plan, but I trust you. I got good news for you that will trust him. They that put their trust in the Lord shall never be confounded. Oh, but trust in the Lord. I'm only talking to transitional people here. With all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct you from one point to another. At the time that I would be afraid, I will trust in you. You are my hiding place. Oh, you come and fill me with songs of deliverance. For whenever I am afraid, I want to talk to some people who will admit, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I'm afraid. I know you don't want to say it because when we come to church, we want to act like everything is well. But there's anybody in here that's got a little tad bit of fear about your life, a little tad bit of fear about where you're going. You know you're not where you used to be, but you're not certain about where it's taking you. And I'm afraid. And I can't trust people. Nobody has this answer. Nobody. Preacher, I love you, but you don't have this answer. Pastor, I appreciate you, but you don't have this answer. Oh, God. Mom, I love you, but you don't have this answer. I don't talk to Dad. All of that stuff, but nobody has the answer. And the Lord is saying, I've been waiting for you to get to this place because I'm going to prove that I'm God. Not enough for y'all, huh? I'm going to prove that I'm God. Once and for all, you're going to know that it was me the whole time. As a matter of fact, when you write your story, you're going to say, we wandered in the wilderness, Israel. But when I write your story, I'm going to say, I led you. You didn't know it, but I was leading you. Woo! Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it looks like I was wandering. But God was leading me.